A Bug's Life. It was right in the middle of harvest that an ant named Flink had an idea. Flink was always inventing things. The idea wasn't so bad. An animatar, band, an automatic harvester. But Princess Anda wouldn't listen to Flick. She was too busy figuring out if there would be enough grain for Hopper and his greedy grasshopper gang. Every year, the grasshoppers came to demand food from the ants. This year, for the first time, Anna was in charge of the harvest. Suddenly, they heard, and you could hear the grasshoppers coming. Anna was flustered. The queen took over. Quickly, everyone, into the anthill. You too, Dot, she said to her younger daughter. The ants left the grasshopper's grain piled up on an offering stone. Flick ran for cover too. But as he was taking off his wonderful harvesting machine, he knocked the offering stone over. All the grain slid down into the dry, cracked riverbed. Hopper would be furious. Hopper was furious. Flick tried to stand up to him, but couldn't. Hopper grabbed Dot and threatened the ants. When I come back, I want to see twice the regular amount of grain, or else. Flick knew that if the ants obeyed Hopper, they wouldn't have any food for themselves. So he got another idea. I could get some bigger bugs to fight the grasshoppers, he suggested. Princess Anda and the Queen didn't like the idea, but they were glad to send Flick away. Only Dot had faith in him. Bring back some real tough bugs, she called as he floated away on his quest. Far away from Ant Island, an audience of rowdy flies was booing yet in another circus performance. P.T. Flea, the circus owner, had enough. You're all fired, he yelled at his performers. Soon, Flick arrived in the city. He had never seen anything like it. This was the place to find tough bugs. Flick found the out-of-work circus bugs in a run-down tavern. He thought they were warriors. They thought he was looking for circus bugs. Oops. The circus bugs thought Flea was offered them a contract to perform for the ants. So away they flew to Ant Island, dreaming of applause and full employment. When they got to Ant Island, the circus bugs found out what the ants expected. Flink, said Rosie Rosie the spider told him. We're not spiders. We're circus stars. The circus bugs quietly slipped away. Flink ran after them, begging them to stay. Manny the praying mantis spoke for them all. You tricked us, he told Flick. You talked about our talents when we thought you were hiring us for a show. Flick was about to plead for some more, when he saw something that terrified him. It was a bird who ate bugs. Run! He yelled. Flick. As they ran, Flick and the circus bugs saw Dot floating toward them. The bird had seen Dot too. Swiftly, Francis flew up and grabbed after the princess. While Slim held Heimlich up to distract the bird, Flick and the others helped Dot and Francis escape. Then they all flew into a prickly bush. The bird flew away. Flick, Dot, and the bugs climbed down from the bush to find the whole ant colony cheering them. What a wonderful sound! The circus bugs had never heard applause before. Right there and then, they decided to help the ants, if Flick could come up with a plan. Flick had a plan, but he knew the ants wouldn't listen. The plan had to come from the circus warriors. Manny was elected to explain the plan to Princess Anna. He told her they would chase off the grasshoppers with the fake bird. The grasshoppers away with the fake bird. The ants started collecting grain and helped the bugs build a bird. They liked the idea of little ants defeating big grasshoppers. They also still thought the warriors were heroes. Once the bird was finished, it was raised up into the knothole in the tree. When the time came, Flick would fly it out and give Hopper the scare of his nasty life. Far away from Ant Island, some of Hopper's gangsters were murmuring to one another. Why should they go back to Ant Island? They already have plenty of food. Hopper didn't agree. There was that ants that stood up to me, he reminded the gang. If we let one ant stand up to us, they all might stand up. And there goes our way of life. Hopper looked around. Not one grasshopper in his gang even dared to disagree with him. Then, let's ride, he ordered them. With a loud buzz, the gang took off for Ant Island. Meanwhile, Flint was telling the circus bugs that our work was finished. Now that the bird was ready, they wouldn't have to stay and fight. The circus bugs, however, didn't want to leave. They liked being heroes. Then B.T. Flea, he showed up. I'm looking for some circus performers, he told the ants. Flink tried to hide the truth, but the ants discovered that their warriors were only circus bugs. The queen ordered the circus bugs to leave, and to take Flink with him. Dot wanted to go to her friends, but her mother held her back. Ants knew they couldn't fight the grasshoppers alone. Frantically, they started collecting grain again. But there wasn't enough time The alarm sounded. The grasshoppers had arrived. "Mother," cried Anna, "what'll we do?" The queen had no answer. Hopper had no mercy. He and his gangsters turned the ants into slings. They were even planning to squish the queen. Dot overheard this. Ernest, when Dot overheard this, she knew she had to do something. She sneaked away to find Flick. Once Dot convinced Flick to come back, he was ready to fight. He knew his bird idea would work. The circus bugs wanted to help too. But they knew P.T. would object, so they shut him up in the wagon. Then the whole group hurried back to Ant Island. While the circus bugs were distracting Hopper and his gang with a circus performance, Flick and Dot rallied the ants' children. Together, they sneaked up to get the bird ready. When Gypsy the moth gave the signal, Flick's faint bird zoomed down from the tree, straight at the awful grasshoppers. Hopper and his gang ran. Then P.T. Flea, who had never understood Flick's plan, escaped. Thinking that the bird was a danger to them all, he set it on fire. Hopper realized that he'd been trapped. He quickly got his gang back together. Once more, the terrible grasshoppers threatened the poor ants. This time, Hopper's target was Anna. Flick couldn't stand it. "Leave her alone," he cried. Flick's action gave the other ants courage they needed. Together, with the circus bugs, they attacked. Hopper knew he couldn't survive if he fought against so many ants. But at least he could get Flick. Suddenly, it started to rain. And everyone ran for cover. And it took advantage of the confusion and grabbed Flick away from Hopper. But Hopper wouldn't give up. He chased Flick and Anna across the river. Flick got another idea. He remembered where the real bird had its nest. He told Anna where to fly. When Hopper saw the bird, he laughed. "Another one of your little bird tricks?" he jeered. But it wasn't. Bye-bye, Hopper. The grasshoppers never returned, and the ants never had to worry about food again. The following spring, P.T. Flea Circus sent out on a victory tour. A few of the ants even joined them, wanting to see the world as Flick had done. They left Flick with Anna and the rest of the colony. He would be happy things to make Ant's life easier. He'd had enough adventure, and home was where he wanted to stay. The end.